Hi, welcome back. I'm Connie Kolosey, Director of Media, Text, and Digital Learning with Pinellas County Schools, and I have with me my partner in crime, Laura Woods, who is the Project Manager for Library Media Centers here in Pinellas County. And we are taking a tour and visiting some of our great library media centers here in the district. We had a chance to visit Booker Creek Elementary before the break, and now we're gone on to Carwise Middle School with media specialist Bronwyn McCarthy. And so why did you pick Carwise and Ms. McCarthy to show off here?
Well, Bronwyn has worked very hard with this media center. When she first started there, it was really tables, chairs, books, shelves. That was it. And then they put some computers in there, and she wanted to do more with it. So she applied for and won a grant through the National Championship Awards, and she got a media makeover, and they gave her quite a large sum of money, and she was able to do some amazing things in her media center that middle school kids appreciate, because it's way different from the elementary. It's not so cutesy, it's more adult and professional, but at the same time engaging and gets them going.
So this is a great example where really an individual took matters into her own hands to control the destiny of her workspace, and so we want to congratulate her on that. Let's hear her talk about her media center.
When it first got here, behind me, we had some tables that we were using for the computers that were not meant for computers. So a lot of them were like dipping in the middle, and cords were everywhere. So my first thing that I did was to update the tables to computer friendly with the cord hiding in the back. That project took about 2 to 3 years to do because it's expensive to buy the tables, but I received help from my school, from our PTA, and from our National Junior Honor Society. Because the library is for all students, they have helped fund some of these different projects that I've worked on. So that was probably my first thing that I did. The second was in the area that I now have for my makerspace. There used to be a lot of shelving there. And honestly, some of it was empty, like weeding had been done and the shelves were just there. And so my HPO, Scott Howie, has been also very instrumental in helping, get this vision kind of put into place. And we removed all of the shelving from there so we could open up the area to have sort of like a project-based learning work area. That was kind of before the whole makerspace thing. School specialty came in and they did a makeover for me, which included the black chairs behind me, the tables where the students are in the makerspace area. They got me my Promethean active panel. And so that led to the next transformation, which was to add an actual classroom area here where I have the whiteboards and I have the Promethean so that I can actually teach lessons in here. I was sort of teaching out in the middle of the space and it was very distracting whenever students came in. So it's gradually evolved now, and then now I'm starting to put more things in the makerspace area now that I have the tables and I have the area sort of ready for those materials to be added there.
So she has really come in and had a vision. One of the things I really appreciated is she mentioned her head plant operator, her HPO, who partnered with her in this. I think a lot of times we forget to mention those somewhat behind the scenes people that really help us work and make happen. So I did want to highlight that and give a shout out, as it were, to all of the wonderful support people that help us with our instructional programs.
Oh, absolutely. We tell them when media specialists first come to a school, there are 3 very important people you make best friends with. Bring lots of chocolate. Your HPO, your administrator, and your bookkeeper, because all 3 of them make a very big impact on your program because they all are important in getting things done.
Yes. So, she worked and rearranged things, and now that she's got things largely set, she talks some more about what the kids actually do when they get there. So let's hear her speak.
I have students coming in on the fly from classes. They're here to print. This is the end of the marking period, so a lot of them are doing printing or they're uploading assignments that they need to turn in before the marking period ends. We do book checkouts on the fly, so I'll have students coming in from various classes to do a book checkout. But then I also have classes that are scheduled to come in. Right now we have a science class in the lab over that direction. And then with me today, I have a social studies class, an 8th grade social studies class. So it's a mixture of both fixed scheduling and flexible, where the students come in on their own from class with a pass, and then they do whatever they need to do here. Well, I'm doing, each year I help a lot with National History Day with our 8th grade social studies students. And honestly, I was getting really bored of my own self and teaching some of those topics because they can be very dry. As I walk them through the Fines research model, once we get towards the note-taking part, that was where I decided that I wanted to incorporate some activities to kind of liven up MLA citations a little bit more. So last year I had the idea to do MLA Citation Twister. And so the students behind me that are standing up, they are getting ready to participate in that activity. The students at the table, we started an activity last Friday that included showing them an example of how to paraphrase something, because there are a lot of different skills that go into the actual research that they need to do, which I've broken down into 4 main processes, which is seek, find, write, and cite. So they did the writing part on Friday. They took a note on a primary source. Today they're going to make their MLA citation at the tables, but I have scrambled the pieces. So yesterday we talked about the MLA citation template for the 8th edition. So they have that template there so they know what to look for in order to put them in the right order. And once they've got their citation in the right order, they're going to write it down, and we're going to add it to notes that we're going to take today on how to create an annotated bibliography. Over the course of a couple of months, they work on these projects. Often the students will seek me out for additional assistance with these kinds of things, whether it's the annotated bibliography or the MLA citations themselves. I explained to them at the beginning of this process that the research model, this research process that you'll go through, they'll repeat it many, many, many times. And I even reminded them that they do this process in their head. And the example I gave is like, what's that bump on my face? You know, you go to the internet, you type into Google, you know, bump on your face, red bump on your face. And I said, so most of our research that we do in our daily lives is for personal things. It's not even for academic stuff, but they don't realize each step that they're going through. So the idea is that if I can get them through at least the first few phases of the Fines research model, then they will come to me when they're actually developing their projects to sort of fine-tune what I've taught them over the last 5 class meetings.
And then they can take this on and use it in high school
Yes.
and in college.
Yes, exactly.
Watch Digital Learning Monday and Friday at 6:30 and Saturday and Sunday at 12:30 on WPDS TV 14, Pinellas County Schools Television.